Sony said in a investors conference last week that the Vita is now a legacy console, along with the PlayStation TV, also known as the Vita,
Wow.
the Vita TV.
We talked about that in the first podcast, I think.
What?
The Vita TV.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So it's been less than 2 years.
it only hit here. We talked about it, but it hasn't hit here. It didn't hit here until I think 5-6 months ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it hasn't even been here that long. So it's a legacy console, and that's a nice way of saying
obsolete.
we're done supporting it. Now, obviously, that does not mean that there are no more games coming out for it. It means Sony's done investing in it. They're done putting money into games. They have been good to indie developers, apparently, about getting out free dev kits or cheap dev kits so they can make games for it. And there are obviously going to be a lot of companies in Japan that are still going to make, niche RPGs and stuff like that. And those will see releases over here, some of them. So it's not like it's going, from this point on, you're never going to see another Vita game again. But man, Sony threw in the towel fast on that one. I mean, I know we're talking probably 2 or 3 years, but that's quick. And the PSP, did okay for them, but wasn't great. What was even more humorous for the legacy console comment is that a lower Sony rep, a PR rep, came out and said that what Andrew House said about the Sony being a legacy console was actually referring to the old 1000 model of the system and writing off those components.
The one that's 10 years old?
No. The original Vita 1000, which would be the first model that came out 3 years ago.
I'm thinking original PSP.
No. Oh. That's he's talking about the original one, except for the fact that hasn't been in manufacture for a year, and that's not what he's talking about. And the guy, the representative was like, it doesn't mean the current PS Vita or PS TV models, but it's just, you can try to save face all you want. The Vita's done. It never got a foothold here. That's in Sony. Sony is not going to lie to their investors. Here's the thing: the Sony spokesperson is trying to do a public face saving, but what Andrew House did was tell the investors, please don't worry about this monkey on our back anymore. It's in the past. We are no longer going to throw money that is wasted at this. He has to say that to bring their confidence back up in Sony. They're not going to continue to support something that's going to cause them to lose investor money. Sony needs all the money they can get now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the company's in great shape to begin with. So they're probably like, oh, well, you have this handheld wing over here that's making us jack shit.
Yeah.
The PS4 is not profitable probably still, so it's like, well, get rid of this at least.
Well,
but the PS4, they have a shot to be profitable with that eventually, but not for the handheld market.
The PS4 is selling, and that was their last-ditch effort, was to try to position the Vita as a PS4 peripheral. And still no one's buying it. No one cares. And I think it's... it's partially indicative of handhelds in general, but really, it's indicative of the fact that Nintendo did it first, and that I think when people look for portables, they're always going to look for Nintendo. There are going to be some Sony superfans who are going to bemoan me saying that, but let's look at all the other systems that have tried to go up against Nintendo handhelds. The Game Gear, the Lynx, the Neo Geo Pocket Color, the Wonder Swan, the PSP, all systems that Gamecom, all systems that did not even come close to putting a dent into the Nintendo sales, even if they were good systems.
Well, the Game Gear did well. Game Gear did fairly well.
Well, the in the first PSP, admittedly, did do fairly well too.
But still, it's not even close. So
no.
You know that it's not close.
They did enough to not be failures. They just did not. They didn't do enough.
It's all about the software for the handhelds, or software in any system. But Nintendo handhelds always had the software.
When we talk at when handheld chat comes up at work, it basically boils down to, the Vita's a real slick piece of hardware. It's really nice. The 3DS has the games.
It's like the Betamax, better than VHS, but doesn't matter. There's no nothing to play on it.
Sure, the Vita, the modern day Betamax.